Hi, I'm Chris. I'm the founder of FirmTree, and one of the things we're going to chat about today is the entrepreneur's revelation, and I'll get to what that means in just a second. But I spend an awful lot of time with aspiring entrepreneurs, people who are new in business, and then just networking with a lot of other entrepreneurs who have been through the process. And there's something that I've observed, and it really has a lot to do with three basic challenges that everybody faces when they're looking to start a business. And the first one is, do I have the right idea? Do I have the right timing? And do I have the right or enough resources? And so this wrestling match really goes on. And for some, it goes on for a long time and the business never actually starts. And for others, they may have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew. And, there's things that they didn't anticipate and they dove in, even though they sort of made all of the right bets and all the right choices. Just, it's a lot to eat. It's like eating an elephant, right? And they're like, oh, I need to do this a bite at a time. And so one of the things that I really would like to share, and this is meant to be an encouragement for those of you that are looking to start a business, and the entrepreneur's revelation is to not build a company first, build a money machine first. Now, I'm not talking about whether you start an LLC and taxed as an S Corp and get all of those things and all the sort of registration work done. I'm not talking about that. What I am talking about is, when we say company, it isn't just a business, right? There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into a company, and there's some simplicity and sort of the beauty that can come from just building a money machine first and putting that sort of mindset in play. So there's really 3 E's that I want to suggest as this encouragement of sort of linearly going through these 3 E's to getting to the I've built a company stage, right? So bear with me. This is strategic in nature. This isn't necessarily a lot of tactical. I'm going to try and mention some stuff in this aptly named example. And this is a retail example. I do have a blog post that shares a retail, a restaurant, and a consumer services example of this whole exercise. But let's dive into the first E. And it's really this. It's to establish your beachhead. All right? And what do I mean by beachhead? Anybody who's studied World War II knows about the Normandy invasion and this beachhead concept. This was a temporary line that was held by the Allied forces that allowed the reinforcements to really get in and advance. So what I'm saying in business is for you to do the same thing. So suspend building a company for a second and really engage with the idea of building the money machine. So this is your money machine here. So let's pretend, for example, that you're going to sell men's shirts, okay? So that would be something where the company is, I really want to have an e-tail business, or I want to have a retail business that I'm selling clothing and apparel. Well, don't go off and say, I'm going to get an SBA loan. I'm going to get everything set up. I'm going to pick the right location. I'm going to do all of these things. I would suggest, really sort of adapting some of your thought processes into something a little bit smaller to start. Right? So this is your money machine. So let's say that you're going to buy maybe just a little bit of inventory. And one of the things I like about the 4-hour work week is Tim Ferriss really suggests if you're under 25 orders in a week, right? Handle it all yourself. If you're north of that, you really need to start looking for some help. You could either outsource or you could hire, etc. So let's just think that you're going to be under 25 orders and you have just enough shirts to really, sort of try this out. So let's think about it this way. You're going to put a little bit of time and you're going to put a little bit of money, right, into this money machine. And you're going to try and cross this line with your money machine. And this line is, I'm going to put my time and my money in. I'm going to build a little bit of a website, a couple of pages. I'm going to run some ads to those pages. I'm going to optimize to make sure that my KPIs are really good and that I've got good click-through rates and I've got decent conversion rates and that people are actually buying. You don't necessarily have to even get a merchant account, right? You can do some of these things that again, the 4-hour work week, this is something that's really great where you can just sort of have soft conversions for these shirts. But if you're actually going to buy the shirts, get a Stripe account and actually, transact some business, okay? And that's really where what you want to do is be able to put a dollar in with your time and get $3 out, Okay, so what I mean by that is a multiplying factor, because you may have more than the dollar, but basically get a 3x return so that you can really see that I've got a machine here. I've got something that's really working. And that's really where establishing your beachhead is like, I've got my shirts that I've started with. And then the next phase is really to expand your offer. Okay, this is, I've got my temporary line. I've got my temporary line of my beachhead, and now I'm going to be able to advance just a little bit more. So the next, the sort of expansion from shirts would be something like, okay, I'm going to sell pants. In summer, I'm going to sell shorts, or I'm going to sell a few accessories, right? And test out what you're going to expand. Don't buy 4 or 5 things. Buy 2 or 3 things that you're going to advertise and you're going to expand, or you're going to create packages and things like that. But the offer expansion stage is something that's really, really meaningful, because if you've been able to successfully hit sort of the similar measurements of your beachhead, and you can hit some of those same key performance indicators, KPIs, if you can hit some of those and hit your, I put $1 in and get 3 out, or maybe even 4 out at the expansion stage, this is really where you're like, I've got something going here. There's a little bit of sort of critical mass that this money machine's getting to. And this is really where you start to think about building a company, right? And so building a company. So this is one of the things, this is the third E, and that is to evolve your value. So if it's just you and you're selling shirts and you're selling accessories, or you're selling shoes and you're doing it online, maybe evolving your value is to do it locally and you open up a brick and mortar store, right? Some people can do that at the offer expansion stage, but at the end of the day, that evolution is really where you start to think about building a company. And building a company is just like this. You are building this company around your money machine. And this company really has these 3 things associated with it. You got your people, you've got your process, and you've got your technology. And these are the things that you wrap around your money machine. And so that's why the 3 E's really help when you start to think about how to develop a business. If you think in the, okay, I'm going to start small, I'm going to build onto it 2 or 3 other extensions. Maybe I do another expansion series, and then I make the decision about whether or not or how to evolve my value. And the key value of a company, these are really the key value pieces of a company: the people, the culture, right? The process, how you do it, how you sort of conduct business, right? The value really is one of those things that are super memorable about you as a company, right? You think about Tom's Shoes and their value proposition. Buy a pair of shoes from us, we'll give a pair away. That kind of cause marketing value has, sort of a lot of meaning, and it's really ingrained and really built inside of the company. But the money machine is really what's core to the value that the company is really bringing. So these 3 E's, hopefully you can really see that, this is a progression, and it's a way for you to think about how to actually get started, where instead of having to sort of wrestle through and get all the answers to those 3 questions, do I have the right idea? Do I have the right timing? And do I have enough resources? Maybe suspend the wrestling match for a while, hang it on the shelf, try to build your money machine, get some of those key answers, walk through the 3 E's, and then hopefully you have your own entrepreneur revelation. And that's one of the things that I think is super powerful, is this is a big series of kind of small problems. And if you solve them, that is really what causes an entrepreneur to become successful and really get paid, right? Is being able to connect those dots. And so if you do it in such a methodical way, it's something that'll really help you sort of not wrestle so hard on getting all of those questions right out of the gate, but testing through it and using some data to really support your hypothesis and support the thesis of the company. So, if you really want to look more into this, I linked the blog post inside of the video description there. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like content content like this, subscribe to the channel, and we got a lot more stuff that we talk about, but I appreciate you taking the time to listen to the Entrepreneur's Revelation today. We'll see you later.